Hello guys. Today we're gonna talk about the first CD, the first album I've ever got, which is Kiss, the very best of Kiss. This has been incredibly influential on my life. This greatest hits compilation. Now, a little bit about it. This is the CD version, of course. It was released in 2002. It's about 75 minutes 9 seconds long. It has 21 tracks, and it was from Mercury slash ATV Records. Um, People in it, of course, are Paul Stanley, guitar vocals, Gene Simmons, bass vocals, Ace Frehley, guitar vocals, and Peter Criss, drums vocals. Now, of course, other members of the band throughout its history also occur, include Eric Carr, who played drums and vocals, Vinnie Vincent, who played guitar vocals, Bruce Kulick, who did guitar work, and Eric Singer also did drums. Now, some of the tracks on this great album include Stritter and Deuce from the first Kiss album. Both of them greatly represent the first album in its early Kiss, which was very hard nosed as well. Then the Hotter Than Hell album came, and then we get into the Hotter Than Hell section, which had Got to Choose and the title track. And Hotter Than Hell represented kind of a focus more on a harder edge rock instead of the more kind of balanced swing of things as the first album was. First album had a bit of glam to it. Hotter Than Hell was much more heavier. Then Dressed to Kill, one track from Dressed to Kill, Come On and Love Me, that represented kind of a shift to more of a pop mix, which was good. Now, granted, some of these albums I haven't listened to in their entirety. Like, I still haven't heard entirely of the Kiss album, the Hotter Than Hell album, and some of these albums, but some of them I have. Um, let's see, now the next one is the live album, which was Rock and Roll All Night, is the only track from the live album. And one of the probably the one, if one of not the greatest live albums of all time, the Kisses Alive, with Rock and Roll All Night being probably their signature song. It's still a great song to this day. It's a song that most people probably won't forget in their lives if they listen to it, I would think. Next is Detroit Rock City from Destroyed, but oddly enough, this is actually a remix version. It's a shorter version. It cuts out a little bit of the bridge in the middle. It's kind of interesting that they went that route with it, because they don't really do that with any other songs on the album. Next, we got a few more tracks from Destroyer, Shout It Out Loud, which is a great party anthem, and a cover as well. And Beth was the highest dropping single, cracking the top 10. It was a huge song. It's a great song too. It's a great orchestra ballad type song. I Want You. Then we get to Rock and Roll Over, which kind of saw a mix of more acoustic love driven songs. It kind of was kind of soft, but still hard nosed at the same time. While Destroyer definitely was very experimental, it was very hard edge, but also had a lot of different extra elements to it as well. But yeah, Rock and Roll Over, I Want You, it's a great soft to hard, a lot of crescendos in the softness to the rockness of it. Let's see. I Stole Your Love. That's another great one too. That was just straight hard nosed hard rock. It's just it's just a very good it's very hard edge. I remember they actually, when I played basketball in high school, they actually played it for part of the warm up music, which was it's kind of strange hearing it, but yeah, it's pretty good. And then Hard Luck Woman's a great song by Peter Criss. It's a great song. Paul Stanley wrote it, but Paul Stanley actually wrote a lot of songs that other members of the band ended up singing. But yeah, he was a very good. That was very well performed by Peter. And I'm sorry, the previous track. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let's go back a step. I skipped ahead. Calling Dr. Love was actually after I Want You on this album right here. Calling Dr. Love is a great song too. It was hard. It's one of the earliest Kiss songs I was exposed to. My mom loves the song, and I like it too. It's a very hard edge. It's a very sexually driven song, which is pretty much rock and roll in general. It's straight up rock and roll kind of song. And then Hard Luck Woman. I Stole Your Love. I already talked about. Still a hard edge, cool song. Christine 16. This is a song that kind of feels kind of popish on the album. It's still kind of hard edge, but it definitely feels like they were kind of going for more of a softer side of things. Now we go to Love Gun. Now, Love Gun. Now the title track is in this, and the title track of Love Gun is probably one of my favorite Kiss songs. It's just straight up. It's huge. It's epic. It's loud. It's well made. It's sexually. It's one of the most sexually epic songs I've probably ever listened to. And the thing is, when I was getting guitar lessons, it's not a tough song to learn. It's actually a lot. The cool thing about Kiss songs is they're loud and powerful and awesome, but they're not hard to learn, which is pretty cool. Sometimes there's genius in simplicity. And then let's see. New York Groove. That was from the Ace Frehley album. Now this is the only time a band has ever done this. They in '78 they decided to release 4 Kiss solo albums at the same time with all very uniform album art. But none of them crossed over with each other. They all did their own thing, and all of them had varying successes. Ace Frehley's album was the most successful. And it was hard rock, but it was kind of his brand of hard rock. Paul Stanley was pure Kiss rock with his. Gene Simmons was incredibly experimental. He did a lot of pop rock mix. Peter Criss did kind of a '50s rock vibe. I haven't really listened to all their albums. I listened to kind of one of each on a different compilation, and I can see the success is very. And Peter Criss did the poorest of the 4. Paul and Gene was third, Paul was second, Ace was first, and a lot of it was due to New York Groove, which was a cover of another, it's a cover, but cracked up there, and I think either top 10 or top 20, I can't remember. That one's pretty good. It has a good beat to it. I can see it being popular. Hold on a sec.
Hey guys, pizza's here.
Okay. That's just pizza. And then, let's see. I Was Made for Loving You from Dynasty. Now, Dynasty, this is the album that people started to kind of get a little hesitant about Kiss. This is when they decided to combine disco and rock. Now, I for one love it because I am for anything combining rock with any genre. Maybe not country, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, disco and rock, what a great combo in my opinion. Because disco, what I like about disco is it makes great use of melodies and harmonies, and a lot of great and woodworks and a lot of orchestra and doing some funky beats to it. I actually don't mind disco all that much. And hearing it with rock is actually pretty cool, and I love because they blended this in this song. They blended it real well. It was very rock driven, but the way it was orchestrated, the way the melodies and harmonies work, and the way it's directed, is disco-ish. But it has a rock sound to it at the same time. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. Lick It Up from the Lick It Up album. I Love It Loud from Creatures of the Night. That's just pure rock, borderline heavy metal song. It's very, very heavy. It's a very heavy song. Lick It Up is a great introduction to the 80s. This is the first album when they went unmasked without makeup. And this is a great song too. My mom loved this one too. It's another sexually driven, but it's very catchy. It has a great riff, and it's a great one to kind of just chill out to while chill out with friends while playing and listening to it or something. It's just a great song. Forever is a great power ballad from their Hot in the Shade album. Hot in the Shade, and this is a great song. It's a great ballad. It's very powerful. It's actually co-written by Michael Bolton and Paul Stanley, which is awesome because they both know how to do love songs, and this is a great one. Then God Gave Rock and Roll to You Too. This is kind of a cover. It's kind of a cover of a God Gave Rock and Roll to You, but they kind of changed some lyrics around. They kind of rearranged things, so it's kind of half and half. But that one's a great anthem as well, and it's very it's very ambitious song. You have a lot of different elements mixed into it as well. Now, AllMusic gave this album 4 out of 5 by critics, AllMusic, and 4.5 out of 5 by audience as well. 53 audience members, and to sum everything up with it, this one does leave a lot of albums out of it, so you could argue that it's probably not the greatest compilation because it leaves out so many of the 80s songs, 80s albums, and it doesn't even do Psycho Circus, which is kind of weird. But overall, I have to say, I grew up listening to this album a lot. It's one of my favorite albums ever, and I highly recommend it. Check it out online. All these tracks, it's very awesome. Now it's kind of compilation albums are a little unnecessary nowadays, but I love this one. Check it out if you just want to get a taste of Kiss. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe and like the videos, and have a good day.